Alright, and we're here to film today, guys. It is about 12:40 on Sunday afternoon, and I'm going to get things ready for the week. And today I'm going to be cooking a lean meatloaf. It's a turkey meatloaf. It's going to contain some oats, it's going to have some peppers, it's going to have a lot of other great things in it that makes a wonderful dish. So in the time it takes you to watch this video, you're going to watch me get it, prep it, stick it in the crock pot, and be done. And hopefully this shouldn't take a little bit longer than about 15 minutes or so. So I'm going to go ahead and snag out my ingredients while you guys are sitting there looking at absolutely nothing. So you're going to see some egg whites, some eggs. Going to keep that moving forward. We got our salsa. It's the Newman's Own salsa. Very, very, very good. We have some onions. We are going to have, magically, also our spinach, and we've got some meat to go along with it right there. So, also going to be breaking out some of the bowls that I'm going to need to help mix everything together. Got the bowls. And finally, we've got cutting board, aluminum foil, amazing butcher knife, and finally, where are those? There they are. Okay, all right guys, and so what you're gonna see me do here is go ahead and start mixing all this stuff together. So if you gotta watch, go ahead and take it off. Make sure your hands are clean. I just washed them before I started doing this. And what we're going to do now is we're going to start mixing everything together. And honestly, it is just this simple when it comes right down to it to get everything. So what I want to do, I'm going to go ahead and start with my cold stuff first. It tends to make things easier for me. That way I can start refrigerating everything once I get it done. And I'm cheating. I got a trash can right down here below me. And it's going to make everything just be a little bit better. We're going to go with about a half a cup to a cup of egg whites. And I've done this long enough, I kind of know exactly what we're going to need there, so that's that nice chef thing of not having to measure it all together. What I like to do, to make it a little bit easier, like I said, is start with all the stuff that I get to pre-mix first. It makes it a little bit easier, so that's going to go with your onion, one large onion here. And it's going to be your salsa, your eggs, your egg whites, you know, your normal stuff. Like this, and I am a huge proponent of cleaning while you cook. So as you see me do this, everything's getting dumped away so that when we're all finished, we have no mess, nothing to go with, and life's a lot simpler that way. So taking the onion, I'm only going to take about half of this, and it's because it will really overpower, it's really going to overpower my meatloaf if I add too much of that in. So we are going to take that half, we're going to go into a fourth. Just like that. Line it up and very slowly begin dicing everything. I like some nice big chunks of onion. Also like nice little chunks. I really non-discriminatory when it comes to how I want my onions chopped. But if you got a better method, or you got one of those cool quick chop things, that'll work really well here. And that's going to go in my egg mixture as of right now. The only problem that you find with a meatloaf a lot of times, or a turkey meatloaf, is it gets very dry. It makes things a little bit rougher to do because when food is just dry, it's not very good. And since we're eating all healthy anyway, if anything we can do to make it taste better, we need to go ahead and do that. So what we do is we add Newman's Own salsa. It's got 65 milligrams per serving, and that makes everything absolutely amazing. It adds a ton of flavor. Nothing else special has to go in it, and that little bit right there is going to be enough to add a lot of liquid to my turkey meatloaf, and it's going to keep it moist as we get through this. So, I'm going to take the onions, going to sit right over there. Now, here comes the fun parts. Taking the onion as well, and I'm going to stick it right back here and just leave it there for a little while. We're going to begin mixing in spinach. So, got a fresh package here. We won't cut vegetables with that knife, so life's going to be okay for those of you who get really upset when we start messing with things. Now, what I invite you to do here is go ahead and take your second bowl, take some spinach, and you just go ahead and transfer it over there. Take as much or as little as you want. 1 to 2 cups is right where I'm at. I like a lot of spinach. It's a great binding agent here in your meatloaf, and so the more that you can add in, the better it's going to be. It's going to help because a lot of times meatloaf can be a little tough on the digestive system. It's a lot of protein to go in at any one time. So take that up, nice baby organic spinach, find it at Walmart. About $3 a pop. Now here comes the cool stuff. Move it out of the way there. Let's pull this nice mixed bowl here. Take it out little bits at a time. You won't break it apart. This just helps everything bind together. Alright, just like that. This takes you a few seconds. As it all binds and mixes, and so you don't get any huge globs of spinach or any absolutely gross chunks of green mixed in with your meatloaf. It'll just kind of all go together in one nice little bit. So I like a lot of green. And if you could tell already, this is even before we've really gotten our hands dirty, because here in about 30 seconds they're going to get really, really, really gross. And that's what we call the point of no return. So, yeah, it's when it gets all caked up with all that great stuff. So, there's that done for that mixing bowl right there. Here's the ingredients minus one last thing. And what I will do, I'll measure it out so you guys don't throw a fit. I'm making a 2-pound meatloaf today. So, it's going to take right under about a cup of oats to bind all this together. This is where all that liquid stuff gets soaked up, is right in those oats, right in there. We're using oats instead of breadcrumbs, obviously because they're better. And this is a healthy meatloaf, so this is part of it. Take everything and we'll just move all our used ingredients over here to the used pile. We'll go ahead and take the lid off the crock pot here. Move that over as well. And last little bits, here's where it's going to start to get tricky. We've got our wonderful ground turkey right here. And what you're going to do is you're going to break these open. You're going to slice them up into little bits. You're going to dump them in here. And then everything is going to start getting mixed together. And we're going to make a giant glop of everything. So once you start here, you need to be ready to have everything else completely done so that you don't contaminate everything with your meat. You don't contaminate everything else with your gross hands. Because after this, it's going to be set and forget time, so we're done. So before we add this in, let's go ahead and break out some aluminum foil. Wrap aluminum foil, and this is just going to go in the bottom of my pan right here. This is going to be for when everything is done. It's going to make life a lot easier to get my meatloaf out of my crock pot so that it can be sliced up and be all bread-like. How convenient. So, a couple pieces will do you. Just enough to where it's going to line the edges. You just don't want any to get in the way, and you want to make sure that it's high enough on that edge so that we're not going to lose anything. It's not going to get stuck to the side, because having to clean that up is an absolute pain in the rear. And all of you guys that know me know, as much as I like to do hard work, I am lazy, and that really goes into how much effort I want to put into cleaning something. So okay, we're lined up right there, so good to go. Take the aluminum foil now. We're going to get dirty and gross here, guys, so I'm going to break out another knife. Just itty bitty little paring knife, nothing big. And we're going to just go ahead and slice these open. Just like that. Take that, go ahead and toss that in the trash. Get that open and ready. Slicey, 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 slicey. Boom, popped open, everything is exposed. Now before I touch it, you will thank me later. Call paper towels. They're going to wipe down your hands really well. And the reason that we're breaking this meat up is because when we stick our hands in there, it's going to be really, really hard to move it around. This is a smaller bowl. A bigger bowl is in the dishwasher right now, so not exactly the greatest of all things. So, there we go. That's first package down. Boom, set that there. Good. And boom, as we start to add in the second bit of meat right there. Anyway, like I said, this makes it easier here to mix in a second because it's going to start being torn all around. We got to make sure all those ingredients get mixed up in there. Oats, eggs, ground beef, whatnot. So here we go. Beautiful bowl full of stuff I'm going to eat this week. Okay? Alright guys, let's go to the mix. Just take your hands and you just start to knead it. Break up the egg that's in there. That's just a binding agent. The oats are going to begin to soak up all that fluid here in a second. And then we just slowly work our way around. You do this well and you won't spill any. It'll actually look like a giant blob of greatness, full of spinach, full of oats, full of onions, all kinds of good stuff here. But it does feel a wee bit disgusting here in the first little bit. So anyway, this is pretty much going to be it once we're done here, and once everything is blended, and I can see it's actually starting to get that way right now, which is really cool. And I haven't completely messed everything up and made it all dirty here. See some oats mixed in. You can see all the eggs. Eggs are starting to take that up well. Good. I'm sure there's something been invented to make this process a little bit easier. But it is kind of neat just to get in there, dig in. It's kind of like when you were a kid and you were playing with all that gross dirt or sand and you started mixing it all around, make it look cool. Except I'm not going to build a sandcastle out of this one. And we can spill some. Hate that. Such a waste. So, okay. If you notice, once everything is mixed together, I can start to move this around in a giant bowl. And you can see that starting to happen right now, which is exactly what it's supposed to do. Yay. It's almost like I've done this before. And there we go. And once it's solid, all you're going to have to do is pick it up, scoot it over so I don't drop it, and I got everything nice ball of spinach and beef and onion and all the other stuff we got here. Okay, so nice big turn. We're going to pick it up. You're not going to get it all, but you're going to get most of it. Okay, you're going to pick it up just like that and go, just dump it. And then take your straggler, which is actually pretty good. I actually didn't have a whole lot right there. And you're gonna take that. You're gonna punch it on top and then just press the meatloaf down until it hits all sides. It's gonna be it's gonna be shaped, mine's shaped like a football. I don't know if yours is or not, but it's all good. Just like that. Okay, so we've got all that set in there. Good stuff. I'm gonna clean that off my counter. Yuck. And then any extra straggler pieces that you got, just kind of rake them off in the bowl. Now, here's what you're going to want to do. I'm lucky I've got a nice sink. I can actually hit it with my wrist. Just like that. Good. Wash all that trash off my hands. Some soap right here. Okay. Absolute perfection. So we're clean-ish. We clean it up to finish this out. Grab your paper towels. Trust me, guys, like I said. Last one, lucky me. Okay. Just gonna keep everything nice and clean. All is well. Now, last step, all you're gonna do before you plug this in is stick your lid right on top. You're going to pop the crock pot over to where it's gonna cook. So we're gonna take it right over here. It's where all my stuff cooks. Do that. Plug it in. Hit the power. Hit program. This one's gonna go for 6.5 hours for me. So, boom, got it set and mess it up so it makes the video go about 30 seconds longer. Good. Enter. Put it on high. We're done. I have no idea how long this took, but after this, I'm gonna stick this stuff in the sink, put the ingredients back in the fridge. We're done. That's cooking. That'll be 6 hours, and that's dinner for the next 8 meals.